What's up, guys? I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be reviewing week 2 of the USFL. We're already into week 3 by the time this is posted, and I'm sorry, guys, got this out a little bit late. But we're going to be reviewing week 2, and I'm going to be saying my thoughts. Basically, if you don't already know what we're going to be doing, guys, we're going to be going down and looking at all the scores and just talking about the games and what I thought about the games. Then we're going to be talking about like the offensive player of the week, defensive player of the week, and special teams player of the week. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, guys, so first thing we get into it, we see, yeah, Boogie's kind of a little bit frustrated here in the chat. He's got a heartbreak emoji and 5 cussing emojis. I mean, he's not wrong, though. I mean, that basically just described what happened this week. So, let's get into it. Alright, so first game was on a Friday night, which I really didn't like. I preferred they do 2 games on Saturday and 2 games on Sunday. Instead, they did a game on Friday night, they did 2 games on Sunday, and they did 1 game on Sunday. To me, I think they need to be doing 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, but that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Anyways, the Generals beat the Panthers 10-6. Very defensive game, guys. Not gonna lie, I kind of expected the Generals to win this one, and I'm glad the Generals won this one. I'm not like saying I'm some big Generals fan here, but I was cheering for them in this scenario here. So congratulations to the Generals, they won. It was a very defensive game, and if you ask me, DeAndre Johnson, their quarterback, reminds me of Deontay Johnson. But anyways, DeAndre Johnson, I feel like every single time he's in, they always have him rush the ball, legitimately. Like, they're always pushing him just to rush the ball, rush the ball, rush the ball, rush the ball. There's no versatility. So if I'm another team looking at that, every time he's in, clearly they're going to have him rushing the ball. I'm pretty sure their other quarterback is Perez. So clearly when they have him in, they're just going to be throwing the ball. So to me, that's it definitely gives it away. DeAndre Johnson, though, I have seen him throw a little bit before, and he's not bad at it. So just get him a little bit better at throwing, and I think he's definitely going to steal the spot for being their #1 quarterback. That's just my personal opinion. Nothing against the other guy. I just think DeAndre Johnson, they've been putting him in a lot more. Every time he runs the ball, he's able to run it pretty decent, so I see no issue there as long as you're just not getting injured a crap load. That's the only issue with being a running quarterback. But as long as you're able to throw the ball and run the ball, then I think DeAndre Johnson can easily get the #1 spot as the Generals quarterback. Moving on to the second game, the Maulers and the Stars. I'm not even going to make a separate video for this one because I'm already getting this one up late, and I'm mad about it. I'm mad about it. Personally, guys, I shouldn't be mad. Maulers are the second undefeated team. The Maulers are the second completely defeated team in the USFL. Kind of sad. I had a lot of expectations for this season. I wasn't saying like we were going to be like something real like big. I was just, you know, excited to see the Maulers play, and we've already had 2 losses. We have not won a game yet, but I feel like this week is our week. I'll be posting this probably actually before we play this week. I'm filming this on Sunday, the day that we will be playing, and I kind of expect maybe we might win. Maybe we beat the Panthers. I think we might be able to. The only thing I can say, though, is I think our defense, I think we need to play the whole game, because against the Bandits, we only played in the second half. And against the Stars, we only played in the first half. We were dominating defensively. They turned over the ball almost 5 times, I think it was. So our defense is really good. We just need to be able to play the whole entire game. Now, as far as our offense goes, we really changed up the game plan. We ran the ball, which you can run the ball, and I'm not against running the ball. Kirby Wilson is a running backs coach in the NFL, so why not, you know, try to put that in here and run the ball. But another thing, though, is that when we played the Bandits, we overran the ball. We were just running it. And when that didn't work, we ran it. Like, we just kept running the ball non-stop. And you guys already know I made a whole entire video about it. I was already just frustrated about it. But we actually really switched it up this game. We started throwing deep, and I really like that we switched up the gameplay. And if we do that, I think we can win. Just defense. Play the whole game. Offense. play the whole game and have good play calling, Kirby Wilson, and I think we can literally win. We actually did a lot better. We put up a lot more points than we did. I mean, hey, we put up a lot more points than the Bandits this past week, so, I mean, I guess that's a win. Next game, the Stallions versus the Gamblers. I'm not going to lie to you all, I didn't catch a lot of this game. The Gamblers looked like they were going to win at one point, actually. This brings up my next thing. The Stallions is kind of unfair since the majority of the games are in Birmingham. The Stallions always have a decent amount of fans that show up compared to all the other games. All the other games barely have people showing up to them. Like, there's like a couple people in the crowd and that's it. That's what scares me about the USFL is that I just don't know, like with their attendance issue, are they going to go out of business? I'm not sure. I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying they won't. I don't know how they're making money. But attendance is not that great. It's only decent for Stallions games, and that's just saying decent. I know they purposely had it in Birmingham the whole entire season, just for this season, just for the sole factor of, I guess traveling and all that, it can get expensive, so it was kind of smart just to have them stationed at one spot, so, traveling fees, hotel rooms, plane fees, all those sorts of fees and all that. I guess they didn't want to go out of business, so I understand why they're playing in Birmingham, so I'm not complaining about that. I thought it was only going to be this one stadium, but they're going to have it in this stadium that we're seeing now, and then they're going to switch to another stadium in Birmingham, and then they're going to switch for the playoffs. They're going to have that in Canton, Ohio, so that's actually kind of cool. But as far as the Stallions game goes, the Gamblers, they played actually like pretty decent defense, I'm not going to lie. They just barely lost. So, the Gamblers, they didn't play too bad. They seem to be like an average team. They seem to be an okay team. So they might make it far. I'm not sure. They held their ground against the Stallions. That's all I can say. This next game, guys, was supposed to be a really good game. It was the Breakers versus the Bandits, since everyone liked to talk up the Bandits just because they beat the Maulers. Now, personally, me, I watched that game and I seen that the Maulers, we did nothing in the first quarter, I guess you could say first half defensively. We did nothing in the first quarter and the first half of that game defensively. And then the second half, we played defensively, and not only that, our offense was barely doing anything that game. And so, to me, I would expect if you have a semi-decent play calling and you have semi-decent play, you should have been able to beat the Maulers in that game specifically. Now, against the Stars, the Maulers did up their play, but to me, the Bandits, they were expected to win that game with the type of play calling that we had. So, to me, when I look at it and everyone in the power rankings showed the Bandits #1 in the USFL, to me, that was a little bit, ridiculous. I mean, there were other 1-0 teams, and to me, to have the Bandits, just because they beat the Maulers and absolutely beat us, the way I view it is, in a way, we kind of beat ourselves by not having more versatile play calling, in my opinion, and just wanting to constantly run the ball. So we just kept going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and our defense only held their ground in the second half of the game. So to me, that was an easy win for the Bandits, and I don't know why that put them #1. And I even said that, I might have said this or I hinted at it in my last USFL video, that I thought the Breakers, they had a chance to be #1 on the power rankings. Oh, and it looks like after week 2, I seem to be correct. So this game, the Breakers absolutely spanked the Bandits 34-3. All I can really say is great defensive play by Breakers. They have a decent offense too. They have a good quarterback. So to me, they got everything going in their way here. I mean, they just absolutely spanked the Bandits. They handed it to them. They were not expected. I mean, even me saying that, I was not expecting the Breakers to just absolutely hand it to the Bandits like that. I did think the Breakers would win. I did not think it would be something like that. So great defensive play by the Breakers and great offense by the Breakers. They had it going on all cylinders. The Bandits, they had absolutely zero things going defensively. They let that receiver, I think it was number 9, I believe, number 9. So Slaughter always threw to number 9, and basically it went from there. They had a really good catch where he jumped up and grabbed it one-handed and whatnot. It was a really cool. They were actually showing this week on the USFL week 3 they were actually showing his reach and stuff, and he was going up like 11 feet to grab those balls and stuff. So they were showing his like reach or whatever and all that. It was like 11 feet when he was like jumping up and jumping to grab the balls. It was like 11 feet. So they got a good receiver on their hands, the Breakers, and they have a decent quarterback on their hands too. As much as I can say about the Bandits, like they did nothing defensively. I mean, the score shows that clearly. I mean, I'm just stating facts here. They did nothing defensively, and they did nothing offensively. So they weren't able to put points on the board, and they weren't able to really do anything. Really, I mean, that's all I can say. They couldn't do anything on anything, really. I mean, that's as weird as it sounds. They just couldn't do anything. They got 3 points on the board. So yeah, so that's going to definitely move them down in the power rankings. But as much as I can say about the Breakers, they look like they have a good team. They look like they have a good team, definitely. And to correct myself, guys, about that number 9 receiver, his name is Jonathan Adams. And on this game, their stats against the Bandits: Kyle Sloter, 266 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Adams had 92 receiving yards and 5 catches. Just 5 catches for 92 yards. So congratulations to those two. They clearly got it together. Here's the nominees for Defensive Players of the Weeks. These are basically all the candidates, and then they decide from here. So I'm just going to read them off quickly. I'm not going to go into some huge thing about these, but these are basically the nominees. Cornerback, Will Likely for the Houston Gamblers. Maulers, cornerback, Jalen McClain-Sapp. New Jersey Generals, linebacker, Chris Orr. And for the New Orleans Breakers, linebacker, Vontae Diggs. Those were Defensive Player of the Week's nominees. Now, Offensive Player of the Week nominees for Week 2 was quarterback Jamar Smith. Now, if he won it again, I'd be like, oh my God, are you serious? But he was a nominee on here. And quarterback for the Philadelphia Stars, I cannot talk, guys. Brian Scott, he is a quarterback. Running back, New Jersey Generals, which I agree with this one. They got a really good running back on their hands, guys. He can run that crap. He actually reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew. He reminds me of. I cannot speak in today's video. He reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew, actually. He's actually a really good runner. I'm not going to lie. So it looks like they have a good running back on their hands. His name is Darius Victor. And then Kyle Sloter for the New Orleans Breakers. Here's the special team nominees. Wide receiver, Cavante Turpin. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Kicker for the Houston Gamblers, Nick Vogel. Cornerback for the Tampa Bay Bandits, Christian Campbell. Wide receiver, Maurice Alexander for the Philadelphia Stars. All right, Offensive Player of the Week, Kyle Sloter. Fully agree with it because he absolutely piled that crap onto the Bandits. Defensive Player of the Week was Vontae Diggs. So literally the New Orleans Breakers got 2 people on Offensive Player and Defensive Player. Special Teams Player of the Week, Nick Vogel. So congratulations to him. So guys, through Week 2, now this is what I get interested in, is the power rankings. The Maulers are no longer last. Let's go, baby. We're no longer last. So let's go. We're number 7. We're moving up. We're climbing to the top, I'm telling you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. If we can turn it around, I think we can have a somewhat decent season if we're able to turn it around. And I really like the direction that we're going from Week 1. It looks like, because I'll see coaches like, in the NFL, if they're making mistakes with their play calling, it's like they're just stubborn and just want to stick with it. Just keep going. And it's like it never gets you anywhere. To me, Kirby Wilson, he came out there before the game and they were interviewing him. He even admitted to his mistakes of his play calling, and he says, if I can't get better, then this team won't get better. So to me, that's a coach taking credibility, and he's actually able to change his play calling, which I am very happy with to see that change. So the power rankings through Week 2. New Orleans Breakers, they moved up. They are number 1 now in the power rankings, which I agree with. Number 2, Birmingham Stallions. And guys, real quick, when I say my opinion, I'm not basing it off of what's happened so far in Week 3. I'm basing it off of what's happened in Week 2. I'm just saying my full opinion on Week 2. I'm just saying that my opinion on this. So this is what I've seen after Week 2, and I agree with the New Orleans Breakers being number 1. Stallions, I agree with them being number 2. Stars coming at number 3. Do I agree with that? I have to say I kind of have to agree with that. Number 4, Bandits. Don't know if I necessarily agree with that. But then again, I shouldn't base it off of what I've seen from Week 3, but on Week 2, I guess you could say they could be number 4, but I might move them down to number 5. New Jersey Generals, they're number 5. Houston Gamblers, they're number 6. Which Houston Gamblers didn't do too bad, so why are they number 6? Maulers were number 7. We went up even though we lost. The Panthers, they're number 8. They come in last place. This week, the Maulers play the Panthers. Can we win? Yes. I think we can win, and it's a very realistic chance. If you can almost beat the Philadelphia Stars, like, we legit could have beaten the Philadelphia Stars. We came this close, guys. So I hope we're actually able to get a win. And I think, like I said, we can turn around this season, and we can actually turn it around and have a somewhat decent season. Now, am I saying it's a championship season? Not necessarily. I'm saying it can be, though. You just never know. Anything can happen. Well, I hope you all enjoyed, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for week 3 of the USFL, my review of it. I'm going to be doing these weekly, just saying my opinion on what has happened in the USFL and what all has been going on in the USFL. So I hope you all enjoyed, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have you been keeping up with the USFL? Because I know I have been, and I've enjoyed it. It's lived up to expectations, and I hope it's something here to stay. My only concern is attendance, and I don't know what's going to all happen with that. We'll have to go on from this season, but overall, guys, it's been pretty entertaining. Let's hope the Maulers can get a win today. Go Maulers. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.